Welcome to another episode of Ridehub's Gear for the Year. Today, we're gonna get all scientific and we're gonna keep your drivetrain healthy and lubed up nicely. So, on the table here, we've got a few different kinds of lubrication, ranging from wet to dry to general all-around use. There's a few differences in those: how fast they flow, how good they look, and how much they cost. We're going to cover a few of those right here. So starting off, we're going to start off with our Tri-Flow. So these guys, it says superior lubricant, and it's used by astronauts on airplanes and other cool stuff. The only downside is it gathers a lot of gunk. So working as a mechanic, I try to avoid using this guy on the chains because it pulls a lot of black stuff on the chain and it kind of makes a bit of a mess. It does really good lubrication, but it's not quite ideal. Next contender is going to be our PD's Link Lube. This thing is designed by Steve Pete, so you know it's going to be fast and good. Probably alcohol based as well. Has a nice fresh feel to it. It lasts a fair bit of time on the chain, and it's like a general all-around lube, so you can use it wet or dry. It's going to have the same effect. Next one is the Mukov Dry Lube. So this is kind of your general dry lube. Smells like bananas and it's going to drive you, well, it's not going to drive you bananas, but it's going to drive you nice and smooth. This is one of the lighter lubes, so it's really nice and flowy. It lasts really long in dry conditions, but as far as water goes, it tends to wash off pretty quickly. On the other side though, we have the Muck Off Wet Lube. This is a lot thicker of a lube, so it's going to stay on your chain for a lot longer during wet conditions, but being thicker, it's going to gather more gunk, so it's kind of going to put a lot of grime on your chain. So using a wet lube, you're going to want to clean your chain a little more often than you would normally. Plus, in the wet conditions, it's a good idea to keep your chain nice and clean. And then the last one, being kind of the premium of the bunch, is the Muck Off Ceramic Lube. So ceramic particles are known to be very low friction, really smooth, and really good. So these ones are probably one of the best chain lubes you could use. They do come at a bit of a price, so it definitely steps up as far as that goes, but the quality of it as well is really good. It also comes with a little UV flashlight, so you can double check how well you put your chain lube on there, which is really nice. So without further ado, let's just dive into our testing. Ready? Steve Pete across the line, looking in, look at the time. Steve Pete across the line and a record time. I think we have a pretty obvious winner, Steve Pete taking the gold. So, looking at this very scientific test, we've shown one thing. The smoothest lube is going to be Stevie's PD Lube. And basically that means it's going to have the least amount of friction and the most amount of lubrication, which just allows for the smoothest running drivetrain. So if you want to survive the great bicycle depression without changing your drivetrain and potentially even without changing your chain, keep it well lubricated. To do that, you can hop over to Ridehub.shop, find all these lubes, and keep your bike going. Till then, I'll be back.